Phil Nicholson, Tomlinson Sotheby's International Real Estate, Sandpoint, Idaho. Shanghai Jazz, Madison, New Jersey. McCool's Red Lion Inn, Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Beautiful Peddler's Village, Lahaska, Pennsylvania. Norris McLaughlin, Allentown, Pennsylvania. New Spirit Old Soul, Boyertown, Pennsylvania. On this episode of Eric Mintel Investigates, the team returns to Elkhorn, Wisconsin to follow up on their spine-tingling investigation of the Beast of Bray Road. New eyewitnesses and new evidence leads this investigation into a whole new direction. What will they encounter this time on the Beast of Bray Road, the follow-up? My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician, but by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team at Bucks County Paranormal Investigations, travel the country investigating all things paranormal. This is Eric Mintel Investigates. October 2021. The Eric Mintel Investigates team traveled to Elkhorn, Wisconsin in search of the Beast of Bray Road and got more than they bargained for. Now, 6 months later, the team returns. Activity is still at an all-time high on the farm of Lee Hampel. What will we discover this time? April 28th, 2022. We arrived in Elkhorn and prepared for our town hall later that night. But as I took a moment to reflect on what transpired the last time we were here, I couldn't help but think, what were we in store for on this follow-up investigation?
It's coming from over that way.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
We get into all that. I want to introduce myself. It's Eric Mintel. We are Bucks County Paranormal Investigations. We're actually now called Eric Mintel Investigates. Joining me is my team member Dominic Sattele, and on camera is Scott Chrysler. Sure, they like applause. They like applause. And right here is the reason why this video happened. Ellen Collins, right here, is our team member, our Wisconsin branch researcher. She and everyone's going to talk about, what happened that night. But what I would like to do first, we've got an incredible guy here, and you guys are so lucky to have him in the community and his family. Lee Hampel's in the house tonight, and Lee's going to speak first because he has to get out of here at 6:30 because he's got a bowling playoff. Lee Hampel, everybody.
May 5th, 2017, I pulled out of my driveway to go into Lake Geneva, and I turned, and about 200 feet down the road here were two luminous, glowing red eyes looking at me. I knew immediately that this was not a coyote or a deer. They have the greenish eyes, they were yellow eyes. It was about 3 feet off the ground, right at the road. I threw my brights on. I accelerated because I knew that this was not an animal that should be. It then went down the embankment. The embankment was 4.5 feet deep, and there was a foot of grass on May 5th, 2017. He's looking over the top at me with these glowing red eyes. I go, okay, all right. So I kind of angled immediately. I don't know who else has seen it in here, but it's so hard to explain how fast it moved. It was immediately 15, 20 feet out in the field, immediately another 15, 20 feet out in the field. Like a flash. He turned, I saw one glowing red eye again, very luminous. Another 15, 20 feet, turned, I saw one more. He turned again, looked at me again. Once it presented itself, I said, I want to approach this as scientific as I can. Kept that data as pure as I could. So that's my story. If I weren't in the roll-offs, I would have. He's going to roll out. That side story, I'm 79 years old, and I bowled a 300 in January.
In the heart of beautiful Bucks County, you'll find Peddler's Village, a village of shopping and dining, a village of family fun, a village of elegance. Visit Peddler's Village today and make memories that last forever. After Lee's talk, Dominic told the audience about our first encounter, not with the Beast, but with a UFO.
You could see stars galore. And I said to Eric, what the hell is that? And I'm pointing up.
And that's where we're pointing, right there.
And that's where we're pointing. And Scott, you know, he was a rock, he had the camera. Eric's going, get that on film, get that on camera. And just this glow of light was above the field, crystal clear sky, and we're following. And as we're watching it flying away from us, faster than a plane, and there was a plane coming at it. And you could see the plane's flying 30,000 feet, you could see it, okay. This thing is flying probably 3 times, 4 times as fast, right at the plane. All of a sudden, it makes a 45, and it disappears.
We had a trifecta of paranormal activity. It was crazy. And if Dominic didn't see that, we probably wouldn't have caught it. Ain't hell in the background. And I look at Dom and we're like, what is that? You know, we're like right away on high alert. Then we hear another one and it's closer. And we hear it again. And this
is an unfiltered clip.
Unfiltered clip, so excuse the language. Does this...
Are you hearing this howl?
I am hearing this howl. It's coming from over that way.
Oh shit.
Our brave leader, everybody.
Dominic, I said, that was unbelievable. And then he's like, shh, shh. And you could hear the rustling in the back. Then what we did was Scott pointed the light over to what I now know is called the wetlands area. And that's where this thing was coming from.
After the presentation, we opened the floor to questions.
Have you ever done any DNA testing on that?
You know what, I'm not sure if Lee, Lee has been trying to get that tested. And he's been turned down, nobody will take it seriously. You know, and that's the thing, he's been trying to get this DNA tested, and a lot of these scientists won't even, won't look at this in a serious light. And that's, on Lee's part, that's very frustrating, because there's something definitely there.
A witness then told us about the strange gait of this creature. This became a recurring theme during this investigation.
This is maybe about, 2:15 in the morning, and wasn't really paying attention, and then looked up and saw something large, canine, on 4 legs, and I saw it just as it was crossing about the last third of the road. And it ducked under the bridge embankment, and there's snow all around at this point. The things that struck me about this was on 4 legs, it had this really strange way of walking, strange gait to it. And that, once I saw it, that sticks in my mind. So I went through that parking lot and didn't see anything, didn't think of going underneath the bridge, and it was just gone. It just disappeared.
Judith A. Harris, attorney, partner, and chair of the Estate Trust and Tax Group of the law firm of Norris McLaughlin, with offices in Allentown, PA, Bridgewater, New Jersey, and New York City. Norris McLaughlin is a full-service law firm handling matters ranging from estates, trust and tax business law, litigation, real estate, intellectual property, healthcare law, municipal law, and immigration law, just to name a few. Norris McLaughlin. We were lucky that a witness by the name of Kevin told us his incredible story.
So this happened somewhere between 2010 and 2014. I was on my way home from work. I used to work in Burlington, Wisconsin, and live in Walworth, and there was no quick way to get home, so I take different ways. Well, this day I came on 36, heading west towards Lake Como, and instead of turning left to go into Lake Geneva, I went straight on Springfield Road. And as I'm driving, it's almost dusk. I see this thing, it's way off in the distance, and I couldn't explain it. It was flying across the field, and it was like 7 feet tall, and it was going faster than anybody could run. And I was like, what the F was that? I couldn't explain what it was. The coolest part about it was that I had never heard anything about the Bray Road Beast. And then after, a couple of years after this happened, I start hearing descriptions of the beast, and it's 7 feet tall, and it's very fast, and I was just like, oh my God, I think I might have seen the Bray Road Beast, And then I looked at the map, and Springfield Road is just southeast of Bray Road. So where these sightings are, Bowers Road, I hear a lot of sightings on Bowers Road and Bray Road, and Springfield Road is right in that triangle. So that's part of the reason I came here. I was like, I wonder if there's any other sightings on Springfield Road because it's right there. And there's a really weird land formation right in there too that I thought looked like it could be a home or something, So I wanted to come here and share my story. I thought it was pretty cool.
Back at the hotel, and after listening to the eyewitness testimonies, I couldn't help but think of all these connections to the creature.
But it's so hard to explain how fast it moved.
It was like 7 feet tall, and it was going faster than anybody could run.
On 4 legs, it had this really strange way of walking.
What do these connections mean? When you step on the beautiful grounds of New Spirit Old Soul, you get that familiar feeling. That feeling of being home. A husband-wife team bringing a unique architectural salvage to every home or business. The grounds can also be rented for that special occasion or a private event. Goods for the uncommon home. New Spirit Old Soul. We were invited to speak at the Beast of Bray Road conference, but before we did, we spoke with a gentleman who told us an amazing story.
So Dave, tell us about this incredible encounter. I mean, those pictures you sent me were unbelievable, man.
Okay, well, it was, I had a boat that I had reconditioned, and I bought a really ill-fitting cover for it, so every time it would rain, I would have to go bail it out before I went to work or the next morning. So obviously it rained the night before, went out to the boat to bail it out, and I was walking on the path to my dock, which was the only boat at that dock. And I was about to step on the dock, and there's a little piece of worn off grass where everybody would stop before you stepped on. So the grass was worn out, so there's a little bare earth area there. I was gonna step on it, and I noticed this track, so I extended my step over it because I didn't want to step and ruin it. And I just noticed this huge print that looked like a dog print. Had experience with dog prints because I worked at a vet clinic in Chicago where we would take animals that were euthanized and make a print. So I had a lot of experience with taking actual paw prints. And so we did everything from Great Danes to St. Bernards. That would fit roughly in the palm of my hand. This print itself was larger than my hand. So I came back and I'm like, I have to take a picture of this. Obviously I didn't have any plaster to make a cast. I didn't have a ruler with me at the time because I didn't know I was going to run into this. So what I did was I put my foot next to it, which is in the picture, and then I put my hand next to it. When I did put my hand next to it, I put it on the ground. You could see grass in between my fingers. So you know for the depth, I wasn't holding my hand up higher to make it look bigger. Now the depth, I stuck my finger in it. I didn't take a picture of that because I couldn't really get the scale on that. Came up to my first knuckle, so it was about 1 inch deep.
I'm not surprised because we've been hearing a lot of incredible stories like that. And how did that make you feel? When you saw that print the first time, how did that make you feel?
To be honest, I wasn't thinking of it that much because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. I got to do this. But I
then
knew
afterward,
that I had to document it because it was so out of the ordinary.
You know, Dave, it's good that you got the images. It's good that you took the pictures because, you know, in the moment, you know, you wanted to get to your job, you wanted to go,
right.
But and it was good that you actually got that documented.
Yeah, and what after you talked with the guy from the DNR and he called you back, have you heard any follow-up since?
I had to press it, and I'm like, why don't I just send you the pictures to prove this? After I sent him the pictures, within an hour he called back asking for the exact location. So I wanted to preserve the track, so what I did, I took a stick, broke it into little pieces, and stuck it all around the track to preserve it in case the DNR person was going to come out. I did find out later that a DNR truck was down at my dock at the site that I told him, because I had talked to my friend that works at a bar, which was in the sight line of my dock. I did ask my friend, did you go talk to him about the track? And he goes, what track? Because I hadn't told him about it yet. So it was kind of after the fact.
So here again, we've got eyewitness testimony. Not only do we have eyewitness testimony, Dave was so right on in the moment to get a picture of the track and then preserve the track. I can't wait to get on this investigation tonight. Looking for a vacation home? Look no further. Will Nicholson of Tomlinson Sotheby's has just what you're looking for. World-class entertainment at Schweitzer Mountain or water sports at Lake Pend Oreille, Idaho has it all. Fresh powder skiing, live music, multiple restaurants, and downhill biking in the summer. And, if you're lucky enough, you might spot Bigfoot. He loves it here. Give Will a call today. After talking to Dave, and after the conference, we hightailed it back to Lee's. Ellen came up with an ingenious idea to lure this elusive beast out and into the open. And as always, the Eric Mintel Investigates team always adds a little bit of fun into the investigation. So here we are, guys, in the field of Lee Hampel. Now you can see that it's really, really windy. I mean, this is going to be hopefully not a problem tonight, but what we have is right here. Check it out. We have Marty set up with with some steak bones, and yeah, they're little they're kind of precariously placed, but I didn't do the placement. That was Dominic did that. Ellen, so how did you come up with this idea here?
Well, I came up with this idea because a wolf or a wolf hybrid has specific colors that they are attuned to, and so dark grays, yellows, dark browns and blacks, basically for him will work to attract a wolf to come in and see what it is. And with the bones on here, we want the scent of the meat to go through. Even though it's windy, the meat smell will go through at least a couple of miles, and we'll be able to have something approach once we get the GoPro on the model.
Just so everybody knows, we're gonna have a GoPro mounted right here. Scott came up with a harness idea to put this GoPro, so we're gonna get a nice come and see this beast
straight on.
Come and get this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't want to place this too high.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I don't want to get them knocked over.
Right.
Because then we're going to be staring at the sky. I want to catch this beast coming in, grabbing them.
So a GoPro on this one and on the other one, which you're going to see in a minute.
Yep.
We made our way across the 35-acre hayfield to the area we were located in last year, the infamous bait area. Okay, so now we're down into bait area number 2. The other one is the wetlands. This is where we were last year. We have another surprise guest for you, but this is another idea for Ellen, but we'll show you what we've got in a minute. As soon as the shenanigans of Dominic Sattele were over, we got to work. So here we are, bait area number 2, And this is our special guest, Susie. And
hi, Susie.
Say hi, Susie. So Susie is Susie's going to be fashioned with steak bones in a minute, and we've got her pointing toward the bait area here.
The camera.
Susie, this was not my idea. This was Ellen's idea. So.
You don't want to do this?
No. No, it's freaking cold out here.
This is his last investigation.
The day was growing longer, and the air was getting colder. We knew we had to get the mannequins baited before we conducted the investigation that night. Before meeting up with Lee again, we decided to go back over to the area across the field where we heard the howls coming from last year.
Are you hearing this howl?
I am hearing this howl. It's coming from over that way.
Oh shit.
Look at this.
Look at this one.
Right away, Ellen found what looked like a square track.
So what I'm thinking is that because of the strange gait that people have noticed, there may be a genetic anomaly that forces it to walk on its knuckles. Therefore, we're not getting toe pads or nails or a full print. We're getting a square, we're getting the actual knuckle print.
Like a gorilla, because the way their hands are, they don't walk on their hands with their upper part. They're knuckle walkers. And I'm trying to figure out if it's got long fingers and it's walking on uneven ground, it could bend the fingers back. I know what that's like, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, knuckle.
The thing is, Fred and Lee, one of the first tracks they found
Was the knuckle.
was the knuckles, and it was that square track.
I just have a feeling that it's something else as well.
Scott and I took a moment to reflect on last year's investigation.
We were just talking about how, like, it's so windy over in Lee's field, and why is it not windy at all here?
Right.
Not even the trees are moving. I mean, it's like crazy.
There's no movement at all.
No movement at all. I mean, you were with us that night. You heard the howls. I mean, you were a rock, man. You just like stayed right on the case. You know, hopefully we'll capture this on video this time, but we really need to stay safe. And Scott, onward to the next one, man.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right. Be safe, bro.
Yeah.
While I continued to investigate the perimeter of the tree line, Ellen and Dominic went into the woods and found a well-traveled trail, prints, and a water source. Could this be where the Beast of Bray Road hangs out? Shanghai jazz has been a staple of gourmet cuisine and incredible live jazz for over 20 years. Owner Tom Donahoe has created an atmosphere where good food and good friends can gather for an unforgettable culinary and musical experience. And don't forget to check out the new Encore Lounge downstairs. Choose from a variety of drinks and wait for the show to begin. Shanghai Jazz, your destination for jazz.
Tonight is going to be an extremely dangerous investigation. We have got bones, we've got...
Wait, Ellen, it's the Beast!
After setting everything up for the investigation, we met up with Lee Hampel in his barn in Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
So here we are, back on the farm of Lee Hampel. Lee.
Well, yeah, welcome back again. Welcome. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too, man.
Good to see you, Dominic. Yeah, welcome back. And
A lot of activity.
A lot of activity.
In December alone, right?
December was a real good month, and I mean, I've had a lot of activity for over the years, but December was extremely active with lights. I had not put out a deer since 2016 because of Walworth County chronic wasting disease, but my neighbor came over early December and he said, "Do you want the bones?" And I have a bucket of trimmings. And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." He said, "Yeah, you can come over and get it." So I went over and got it, you know. And it's just interesting that the exact same sequence took place as it had 6 years before. There was deer there for 2 weeks. There was nothing touched it. Here's trimmings. Here's a carcass of deer and a bucket of trimmings on top of meat. And 2 weeks, nothing came and touched it. Wow. Nothing. No coyote, no raccoons, no skunk, nothing. No possum, nothing. The camera was right on it. Then it's there, and then the mist comes on December 24th.
And gone.
Next day it's gone.
Wow.
Next day it's gone.
What amazes me is it sits there for 2 weeks. It's not cooked. It's going to go rancid. And that's when they come get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like you said before, they want fresh.
Yeah.
But that's so weird. And that has been going on ever since you've been here.
It takes fresh meat, and sometimes it took
deer that were 2 months, and they were well, all maggots and everything, you know.
Wow.
And so it's taken deer that were totally decimated, and or of course it took deer that cut the head off of one of the deer and took the head, you know.
Now, here we are again on site, and hopefully this year we've got a whole bunch of new techniques that we've got going on for the investigation tonight. As a matter of fact, we have Marty and Susie out there right now.
Marty and Susie are out there now.
In the heart of Quakertown, you'll find McCool's Red Lion Inn, a beautiful, historic restaurant where friends can gather and enjoy award-winning food and drink time and time again. And next door, step inside the beautiful McCool's Arts and Events Center and wait for the show to begin. McCool's Red Lion Inn.
Welcome, Ellen. How you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing great.
Welcome
How are
back.
you, Lee?
Real
Thank
good.
you. Nice to be back.
Nice to see you again.
Very exciting, very exciting.
Well, this is now I just mentioned Marty and Susie. Now Marty and Susie are friends of Ellen's. Now they're out there, and they're very brave to be able to be taking this investigation in stride like they are.
As daylight dwindled, Lee showed us more pictures of mysterious anomalies on the farm, but also told us a story about missing time.
Jay Bakhtichin does not remember. We were in the car together talking on their video, and I didn't know I was there.
Wow.
He didn't know he was there. We both said we weren't there, and then we're on the video.
Was this after the fire situation?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this was right at the time of the fire, the ghost fire.
Wow.
And then Jay said, well, yeah, we were only out there 45 minutes. I said, you were out there 2 hours.
Missing time? Electronic disturbances? You could hear the anguish in Lee's voice. I mean, he wants to get answers as much as we do.
As the afternoon gave way to evening, Lee continued to show us very strange photos and videos, some of which were beyond explanation. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Beast of Bray Road follow-up next time on Eric Mintel Investigates.